Guys, this is the last go at this. I'm going to go as quick as I can. I'm 3D printing, trying to 3D print. I'm having a lot of trouble. The 3D print stuff is so brittle, I can't get it into the 3D printer, but that's what I want to do, is 3D print with rotors. I tried some experiments with 3D printing the, how would you 3D print this? So I tried that, but again, I doubt this would work. On this side it's alright because it's nice and flat, so you can insulate that. But on this side here, there's too many edges, too many bumps, and you just get too much breakdown. It wouldn't work. I also tried this thing. I thought, oh, maybe if you just had one printer, like a Ender 3, you could. I think I did print this on an Ender 3, so you could print one part, dip it in insulator, and pop him in. And then, you print your other part, get them all printed, dipped, put them in, and then iron them, like put them in place, and then heat them up or whatever and push them flat. And you're just not going to get you're relying on the gap here. And wherever you get a sharp edge, you're just going to get breakdown, so it's a waste of time. This paint on the stuff is pretty good. Anyway, I moved on. Show you this one. Tried this sort of thing. The sharp edges, I'm too close to the edge here. Here's something that's very interesting. The surface area in here at the center of the axis is minimal compared to the surface area on the outside. So I've just used a bigger gap. Even though I'm using an insulator, I increased this gap around here as well. This one worked out quite good. The paper ended up being a conductor, more of a resistive conductor, but it's still a conductor, and this acts like a capacitor. When you charge it up, it won't discharge fast. It takes a while to discharge. You keep getting the sparks out for quite a while. That was an interesting little thing. If anyone wants to have a go at that, that was pretty good fun to play with. This is what I ended up with. A tray. I tried to laminate these, and the laminated, too much metal. So there's too much silver foil in here, and the silver foil gets hot and it buckled them too much. So I ended up with, I've gone to the shop and I've guys, here you go. So it didn't work. I should have cut in some other footage up till now, so we're back here doing it all again. This is the original one. When I cut it with scissors, the edges were too sharp and it broke down on the edges. And you need a method to do it whereby they're all exactly the same. So what I did was I got on the internet, and I thought, on the internet they say graphene's the new thing, and I did these ones with graphene. I did this one with graphene. I used a envelope heat shrink thing, and went through, cut them out, made stencils and everything. It all worked out, but it's not there, it's not working, it's not doing what this one did. So it really dropped off. It wouldn't work properly. So then I tried this one as well. So it's been 1 year I've been making these. So I did this one. I thought this one was really good, but when I put a resistor on it, and I checked the resistance, I was getting 20 kiloohms from my input wire here to the furthest reach. So same with this one. This one might have been 13 kiloohms, that one was 20 kiloohms, which is just too much. And the other thing is, when you spray it, so you paint this stuff on, it's like a water-based application. You paint it all on, and when I've sprayed it, I'm thinking the spray, the lacquer, has gone into it and actually made it insulative. So it defeated the whole purpose by spraying it. I'm thinking that one did about the same sort of thing. The glue that is on these things, on this plastic stuff, laminate pockets, the glue in that laminate when you heat it and put it together, it goes into the, and you can see it sort of wrinkled and rippled. So it might have actually put an insulator in there and made it even more resistive so that the charges can't flow across the disc. So after those attempts, and it takes time to do it, it's very disheartening when it doesn't work. What I've done is I've done these ones, and I'll throw some, this was the very first one, and if you look closely I've got these sharp edges on it. So I went back and I changed it and I took those sharp edges. This is for electric guitars I got on eBay. It was cheap enough, it was $30 I think for this roll. It's conductive front and back, so it's got sticky back on it. You stick it on and zero resistance in it. I'm getting out of that. So if I put a meter, if I get my meter and I put my meter on this, I'm getting zero resistance across there, which I can do. I think it's a lot better. I'm just going to go with it because this is pretty much how I did the first one. 0 ohms resistance. This is the same method that I used on that first one, and you can see the difference. I've used a cutting machine, a sticker cutter. So I had to buy a whole sticker cutter machine. Here it is here, and I load in the sticky stuff, and then the machine cuts it out, and that's how I'm getting it to be so nice and even. And when I look closely, if I put my glasses on and I look really close at the edges, I can see the edges are really clean. It's done, they're a little bit serrated. Oh, we're back to serrated edges, but I don't care. What I've done with this plate, I've changed this plate also. Pretty sure I've uploaded it. I'll check it, make sure it is uploaded. This plate has got a 0.5 millimeter, 0.4 millimeter recess in it. Here is the machine, and I've put these in and just given them a test. And they're good in the sense that they slide in and out really easy. They're a really nice fit. There it is there. So you can see, should be able to see it. And I'll take a photo, I'll insert a photo so you can actually see a really good close-up of it. But also what I've done is here on the back I've used the cutout sticker that's stuck on here. I've used the copper sheeting. I've soldered to the copper. I've just soldered that off, soldered really well. Then I've gotten some araldite, and I've put araldite over here, this section here, so it's araldited, and the wires come out through the hole. So the araldite is holding that wire in. If I put my glasses on and have a look, I can see that the araldite tried to come out through the hole, but the wire wouldn't let it. So look, this is so close to the original, and I can see that the stuff, you know, it looks pretty good to me. It looks like it looks like better than the other one does anyway. The original one, this original one, here's the original one, and it worked, but it just kept breaking down, bang, bang, bang. And when I'm going to make the machine bigger, 20 to 100 times more dense. This is nothing compared to what I'm going to build, but if it's going to be, the next one up there is going to be 10 to 20 times more dense than this one. And then the one from that will be, if that's 10 to 20, the next one will be like, 100 times more dense than this. So 100 times more dense. I don't want a copper breakdown spark. I don't want to. I have to change everything. But anyway, not change everything, but I'm going to have it so I know how much charge is going in there, and when it reaches a certain voltage, it stops getting charged. And I thought I would just add, this is the stuff that I have used and it was hard to get onto. The paper on the back isn't real thick, and basically all I did was I cut out the piece as long as I need it, 60. So I just Probably could go. Anyway, I just did one at a time. I just went like that. So that's it. But yeah, depends how far. Now, if anyone wants, so got that, and then I laid it on here. Very fragile, that stuff. It's not very fragile, but it's fragile. So then I laid it on here. You can see what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. So it's loaded in there. And there it is. That's it. And yeah. But so if anyone gets stuck, you could message me and I can give you a price. But you're going to be looking at $10 each if I have to do them individually. I might be able to put this roll through and cut them on the roll. I can experiment with that. It didn't want to do it before, it wanted to run crooked. And if I run a roller in the middle, it puts a crease in it. So this way, when it cuts out, it worked out pretty good. So see what happens. I'm happy to send some. I got a few of these rolls, so if anyone wants a roll of this stuff, put a message there or something, and I will try. Here we go. I'll show you how easy this thing makes it. What I did also make up was these. So if anyone's interested, I can put these out there. And basically all you would do with them, put your roll of foil in there, like that. And you would get your pair of scissors, and cut down there, and then you cut down there, take off that corner. I'll show you right. Take off that corner. So we have a piece that's cut out a piece, and now we would get our. So obviously this one, these are actually not quite right. So we'd go there. So I look at it and go, oh yeah, it's not going to fit on that one. It must fit on this one here. So it fits on that one. So now I peel it off, and I put it on. And what's going to happen is next time when I use this piece, because this piece you'll see it's not right at the bottom, I'll flip it over. I'll cut it again. Right, that one's got an I on it inside, and the other one has an O on it. Here it is here. Has an O on it. You can see the O. O for outside. Inside and outside. Inside, outside. So that's the inside ones, they go in there. And that's the outside ones. The outside one is the outside piece. Right, so that's how I would do it if I didn't have a sticker cutter. Then, with that copper, you'd have to buy this copper stuff. And like I said, it would allow you to join them. That was where I had trouble with the original one. Here's the original one. I didn't have that copper. So I had to put a little wire in there. And that wire made a bump. The bump made a breakdown point. Same with here, bump, breakdown point. So there's too many bumps and all that. You need to keep the area between the discs as smooth as possible, as little breakdown as possible, and everyone's happy. Righto, so here's our thing, we're going to do it. This stuff's so thin that it was hard to get the blade just the right level where it's cutting the foil and not cutting the other stuff. So yeah, it's pretty good. Saves you a lot of cutting. I just couldn't do it. I got to the point where I've made nearly 100 of these plates. I just can't keep going the same way that I was going before. It was getting too stressful and too depressing, especially when you put so much time and effort into it and it doesn't work. You're pretty disappointed. This is back, Tesla said this as well way back at the beginning, use foil and shellac varnish, so anyway, we're back to the original. Righto, that's it, it's done. So, we, yeah. Now, as long as no one's adjusted that cutter too much, all I do is, yeah, you strip it down one way and put it on another. So it pulls off one way a bit better than the other. Oh, and it sticks to itself. So anyway, there's that. So that gets straight in. It sticks to everything. It's good sticky. It's got a good sticky back to it. Just the other part. So now, you can see I have the part, and all I do, this same piece of plastic I've used 20 times. All we do is put that on there. Try and line up as best we can. Can you see what I'm doing? Yep. Rub, rub, rub. Now, I did the foil that way, I pull the sticker back the opposite direction, and if you do it right, it comes off pretty easy. And now, that out of the road, over there, put my plate down. So this is a dud one anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use this one, this is just a demo. So I'm lining it up, I can see through the plastic. And I get over a bit more lighting would be good. And when it looks right, you go down. There it is. Use my little thing, run around the edges. So we've got the plate.
What?
On video.
I'm just popping down straight for a minute.
Take Claymore with you, sitting the other side. Right. We got our thing. And yeah, mate, how quick was that? Did you like it? I liked it. I thought that was excellent. So now you cut your other foil. I actually made little tabs. So I've already run that copper stuff through this, and I made the correct size. Now I've got me tabs, and they're all done the same thing. Put them through the sticker cutter, and all I do is I pick up a tab. Got a little tab, and I'm going to put my little tab on there. Oh, on there. Here's some wire. I think it's 70 millimeters I cut it to. cut it to 70 millimeters, which I will do one for you. Tape measure. What's this for? That's about that length. And that is 100 millimeters. So 100 millimeters of wire, and this is telecom wire. We found it on the road. They cut and washed down in the drain or something. They'd cut it and thrown it out. It's just a nice size. It's got one strand of wire. It's stiff. So when you bend it into shape, it's going to take that shape. I'm going to strip the ends off. Oh, I didn't do it like that. I used a candle. And I lit a candle over it, heated up, and then just peeled them off. And I did a heap of them at once. I think I've got a video of that. And it just made it a lot quicker. I just sat here and it took 10 minutes to do a heap of them. So there's that part. Now, that, I've left a little hole there. So that goes through the hole. Bang, it's there. Bit of solder. And that's what we got, a bit of solder, solder it on. And then I sprayed it with spray. So you got that, I went back down the back, set them all up, sprayed them. I think I got a photo of that, I'll put that in. Then, hey presto, I'll put that one back in. Should have left it out. Anyway, hey presto, solder, araldite to araldite, that where that wire is, so the wire doesn't fall out. And that's it. So it should be easy. Should be easy. But yeah, the less sharp edges you get around the sides and that, the better. And this thing seems to work. So if anyone drop a comment or send me a message or something, we'll sort something out. But yeah, I don't need the job, I guess. China, maybe we get China to do it. Anyway, alright, no worries. And that's about it. So I will now progress on. I'll drop this video and then I'll progress on and start doing the plates. And I'll redo the, not the plates, the discs. I'll redo the discs in foil. And hopefully we get back to square one where I was 12 months ago. And I'll put this 12 months behind me and pretend it never happened. Alright, no worries.